Hi, it's Emma Fawcett. Welcome back to Emma's Crafty Space. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Newton Abbey, Belfast, Northern Ireland. Thank you so much for joining me today. So as promised, I was going to do this little tutorial on these little Shrinkies Plastic gnomes. So this is such a cute wee project. It's ideal for doing with your children or grandchildren or whatever, and obviously then you can gift them on. They are very, very cute. So I've just got a couple of different ones here. So the brand of the Shrinkies Plastic that I'm using is this one here, and I think I got it on Amazon, and it has all the instructions on it because I'm sure some of them have different instructions. So this one here, once you've got your images and all prepped, you put it in the oven for 175 degrees or 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and you leave them in a tray for a few minutes. But I'm actually going to show you the process of it in the oven, just so you can kind of see what you need to look out for. So I have already pre-stamped some images out onto the sheets. You can see that's all the size of the sheets are. The only thing is you're going to need to maybe do it in Stazon so that it will actually stick to the plastic. And then if you want to, you can do Sharpies because it's permanent, but then obviously you're not going to get your nice Stampin' Up colours. So I'm actually going to use my blends, but be very careful because if you touch the Stazon, you're going to contaminate the nib. So just be really careful whenever you're doing this, because I'm sure you know these aren't the cheapest of things and you don't want to contaminate them. So I'm going to have a wee go at colouring this in, and then I'll jump back on and show you what I'm going to do with that after. So now that I've got them coloured in, and just for reference, the colours that I did use my blends, but I just took my time and tried not to touch the Stazon ink because, as I say, it will bleed into your blend pens. So I used the dark colours of each one. So it was Bermuda Bay, Poppy Parade, that is soft suede, and then through the beards I just kind of touched in a wee bit with the dark Crumb Cake just to take the whiteness of it. And the noses, normally I would use Petal Pink as a good skin colour, but because it's on plastic, I actually used the dark pale Papaya. So and then it's the wee gloves, I use light Bermuda Bay. For these wee gloves I use the dark Pumpkin Pie. So the only thing now left that you need to do for the next stage is to die cut your little shapes. Now you could, if you wanted to, fussy cut them, but when there's a set of dies that matches them. Oh, and the reason I didn't do this one is because whenever I stamped it with the Stazon, it kind of blurred at one side, so I must have shook my hand a bit. So I'm only going to do the two here. So I'm just lining up my dies. Obviously, whenever you stamp it with Stazon, you need to let it like dry for a couple of minutes and kind of waft it. Don't be putting heat on it because obviously it's going to shrink the plastic. So just kind of waft it or fan it in the air. And then wind these through. Get this out of the way. So I am going to use this little punch. This is a punch that Stampin' Up did years ago, but I use it. They don't do it any longer, and it's things like this. I'm not sure why they discontinue, because to me they're invaluable. I'm just going to see if I can measure the little. It's only 1 millimeter. Only well, maybe 1.5 millimeter hole, but I just think tools like this are invaluable. Okay, and you're just gonna punch that. Just be careful because you don't want to like tear the plastic. Okay, and then I have got split rings, if I can find them. They're on my table somewhere. So these I just ordered from eBay. I'll give you the measurement for those in a wee second. I haven't actually tried these on them yet, so this is going to be a first with these wee ones. I actually baked these ones in the oven with the oyster clip already in it, but as you can see there's no movement because it's so tight. So I thought having the split rings would give me a wee bit more movement. I think these are 8mm. Yep, they're 8mm, and maybe 1mm for the bar thickness. So you need to attach these now. There's no point in doing it whenever they're shrunk because you'll not get them through that hole. So just take your time with these. If you scrape any of your ink off, you can just go back in and colour it before you put it in the oven. So take your time, there's no rush. You see there's a bit more movement than that. Obviously it'll change whenever these get shrunk down in. Just trying not to tear or split the plastic, so just work with it really gently. So you can see that it's got plenty of movement there. So the next thing you're going to do is put it on a baking tray and take it to your oven, which is already preheated at 175 or 350, just depending on the instruction that is with your shrink plastic. And I'm just turning my split rings just to that little opening there that has only one reel of the metal in it. So let's take it to the oven. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Now this should only take about 3 or 4 minutes. So we'll just see what happens. You can see now it's starting to curl. Now you can see now there it's starting to curl, and it literally nearly goes into a little ball, and then all of a sudden it'll just flatten out, and once it flattens out, that's it, done. Absolutely amazing. Now obviously because there's a ring in it, it'll hold it up off the tray, but it's just important that you take it out and try and flatten it without burning yourself. So I'm just going to pause this here and then we'll see what it's like. So that is shrunk. I'm just letting them cool off a wee second. So you can see now there is movement in that because I've added that little split ring to it, whereas those other ones were just so stiff around the oyster clip. So see if I turn it sideways, because that little split ring's on it, you can just see that kind of raises slightly. So when you just lift it out of the oven, just kind of like poke it down a wee bit and it flattens it down completely. And then the last thing there is for you to do is to add your little, these are actually phone charms. Just add that in like that. And as I say, I use them on my Stampin' Up snips, because it means then I know, especially when I'm doing classes and events, it means I know which scissors are mine. So I have got ones from years ago. So I've got like the little elephant and the mouse, 2 little ladybirds. These are all really old ones from years ago, but they are a really cute fun project to do if you have any little ones around the house. and even earrings or something, just so cute. So hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial, and it's a little more lighthearted and a bit easier. As I say, the only thing you're going to need that isn't Stampin' Up wise is your Shrinkies Plastic. Now obviously you can get these in big A4 sheets, but these were just the ones that I had ordered. I actually used to do these with my children years ago, so this is just the end of a pack, and then obviously your little split rings and your phone charms. But yeah, they're really cute, and as I say, I hope you have fun making yours. I'll leave a list of everything that I've used. Obviously there's you'll be able to get the likes of Shrinkies on Amazon or something like that, and these wee tags and split rings you'll be able to get on eBay. So that is it for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care. Bye bye.